Miami Dolphins at the Washington Commanders. Dolphins favored by 9.5 here at Washington. Jack Del Rio, defense coordinator, has been fired since Thanksgiving. So we might get the D.C. bump here, new D.C. bump for Washington. DC. Yes, in D.C. Dolphins, they get to play a road game against a lesser opponent, right? A lot of their home road splits are they beat the Jets on the road last week, but they get to go to Washington as 9.5-point favorites here. What are you looking for in this one?
Yeah, I'm curious to see what that change in coaching does for the defense, because for a couple of years now, Washington's defense has felt like it should be better, and it's been underachieving, and they've tended to come where they've had runs where they start slow and they get better, or it changes over a period of time. Like, I wonder now if we just remove the coach and start consistently getting the level of performance from some of these players that we should be getting or have come to expect, whether this defense has the capacity to get significantly better. Now, this is a really rough test, like a baptism of fire to test that theory of, hey, it's great that you're moving in the right direction. Now go and stop the Miami offense. Good luck. That's tough, particularly when, even if you just look on a season level, like 2 of their top 3 pass rushers no longer play on the team, right? The edge rushers have been shipped off.
They traded Chase Young and Montez Sweat during the season.
Jonathan Allen is their primary source of pass rush as an interior player, and he's still playing really well, but not at that, Aaron Donald level where he's single-handedly able to generate all the pressure the team needs. They don't really have the edge rushers yet. Daron Payne doesn't bring that kind of pass rushing presence. He's just not that type of player. So this front four that for years has been the strength of the team and should be one of the best in the NFL, it probably isn't anymore. Like, they've shipped off half the players that would be applicable to.
Yeah, I mean, I think Washington's just in transition, and if you look at, they're tied with the Giants now record-wise at 4-8. Point differential is actually similar to the Giants. As icky as the Giants' season feels, Tommy's saved it. He's on bye. He's just resting this week. But minus 133 point differential for the Giants. The Commanders are at minus 104. It's not been a good season, even though they played the Eagles tough a couple times. And we usually spend most of our Washington time talking about Sam Howell. He's remained inconsistent here. When it looked like he was maybe turning a corner, that regressed a little bit. It's a fascinating season for Howell. He's dropped back almost 100 times more than any other quarterback. I know they haven't had a bye. That's going to skew those numbers. But it's also been this extremely pass-heavy attack. There's been a lot of pressure on him, both literally and figuratively. So he's faced the fire this year, Howell. And it's been a challenging year for a first-year quarterback. So they're in transition, man. And I think for the Dolphins, it's one of those got to take care of business games because they're 8-3. They're still in the mix for they're a game and a half ahead of the Bills in the division, or 2.5 games ahead of the Bills in the division. Looking for a number 1 seed, looking for seeding 2 or 3 seed above the Ravens, Jags, and Chiefs, and the Dolphins have to take care of business here.
Yeah, it's difficult to know what the Vic Fangio type of defense will do to Sam Howell. There's not a pattern in his performances in terms of scheme. Like, he's not struggling against one specific scheme. He's struggled against the Bills, who run a sort of coverage-based defense. He's also struggled against the Giants, who are the second most blitz-happy team in the NFL, and against Dallas, who just bring pressure everywhere. So I don't know that there's necessarily a trend as to whether he's going to do well or badly against a Fangio type of defense. But because the Dolphins' offense is likely to have a lot of success, it's going to have to be a game where they turn it over to Howell again and say, keep pace, which is, if nothing else, a wildly high variance end of how this can go. Like, Sam Howell's played some of his best football where they've abandoned the run hurry up, and just said, deal, and see what happens. He's also played some of his worst football in those situations as well. Right. So, who the hell knows how this is going to go?
We don't know. So I think the Dolphins are going to have their way offensively. I don't think without Jack Del Rio doesn't matter. I mean, they're not going to be able to hang with this Dolphins passing.
I think it
attack.
should help. I do think that Del Rio's defense was becoming a problem. So shifting scheme or shifting coaching, I think, should help them. I just don't know if it's going to be this week.
So predicting the 9.5 again. I don't. In any given week, Howell can get rid of the ball quickly and make big time throws and make plays with his legs and let them hang. I think I might lean as 9.5 point underdogs that Washington can cover, but I got Miami definitely have the Dolphins winning this game. So where are you going to go on this one? 9.5 points, Dolphins favored.
That's a lot of points. Yeah, I'll say Washington cover that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same. I don't love it whatsoever. But yeah, I'll go with them. Sam Howell bouncing back and making some big plays to at least keep it close.